Good morning, Storytime friends. How are you doing today? Today I am so excited because we are going to be reading about my favorite animal. Can you guess what my favorite animal is? There's a little puppet and some other cute little versions of it on the wall behind me. What animal do you think it is? That's right. My favorite animal is cats, and that's what we're going to be reading about today. Do you have any cats at home? I have one cat, and she is calico. Do you know what calico means? That's right. Calico is a kind of coloring that some cats are. So my cat has black spots, white spots, and orange spots. Are there other kinds of cats with different kinds of coloring? Hmm, there are? What kinds of colors can cats come in? That's right, all kinds. Orange, gray, black, white, brown, striped, spotted, solid. I love cats. I could talk about cats all day. They come in such fun varieties and they are such great pets. If you have a cat at home, what color is your cat? That sounds like a pretty cool cat. And behind me here too, this puppet is a bobcat. So we have some cats that we have at home as pets, right? Our little kitties that are our pets, but there are also wild cats. So this bobcat is a wild animal. And what other wild cats are there? Hmm, bobcat, tiger, lion. That's right. Those are all cats too. Those are what are called big cats. And we have cute little kitties at home. All right, well, are you ready to read all about cats with me today? Let's start with our first book. Our first book is called Cats, Cats, Cats. And this is written by Leslie Newman and it's illustrated by Erica Oler. Holy moly, look at all those cats on the cover. What do you think's going to happen in this book? Yeah, I think we'll read about this woman and all of her kitties, won't we? Well, let's go ahead and find out. Cats, cats, cats. In a great big house on the edge of town lived a tiny old woman named Mrs. Brown. She had no children, she had no mother, she had no sister, she had no brother. She had no chickens, she had no rats. What Mrs. Brown had were cats, cats, cats. That's a couple cats she has, isn't it? Huh. Look at her home, it's filled with them. Cats in the sunlight enjoying a snooze, while Mrs. Brown watched the 8 o'clock news. Cats on the counter, each deep in a dream, while Mrs. Brown drank her coffee with cream. Cats sleeping on sofas, cats sleeping on chairs, while Mrs. Brown swept and vacuumed the stairs. Oh my goodness, I bet Mrs. Brown has to clean a lot with all of that cat fur, huh? Cats snoring in harmony, all in a bunch, while Mrs. Brown ate an omelet for lunch. Cats dozing outside, each one on a pillow, while Mrs. Brown trimmed the old weeping willow. What's happening in this picture? You're right. I think they're all snuggling together, aren't they? Black cats, white cats, gray cats too. Eyes of brown and eyes of blue. Eyes of gold and eyes of green. Tall cats, short cats, fat and lean. Striped cats, spotted cats, large and small. Mrs. Brown just loved them all. They are such good cuddle companions, aren't they? She loved the softness of their fur. She loved the loudness of their purr. She loved to comb their fluffy tails. She loved to manicure their nails. She loved to sit and chat with them. She loved to wear a hat with them. How do you think Mrs. Brown is feeling right here when she's getting to cuddle her kitties? That's right. I think she's very happy, isn't she? She loves her cats and spending time with them. She loved to fill her lap with them. She loved to take a nap with them. She loved to place them all just so, and then embrace them row by row. How many cats do you think that is? I don't even know if I can count that many. That's a lot, isn't it? She hugs all of those kitties. When nighttime came, old Mrs. Brown put 60 bowls of cat food down, then pet each cat upon the head and marched herself straight up to bed. What's happening in this? Oh my goodness. Could it be that the cats are throwing a party? As soon as she began to snore, the fun began with cats galore. Cats in the entryway throwing confetti. Cats in the dining room eating spaghetti. Cats in the studio working with clay. Cats in the parlor performing a play. Let me show you that play, that kitty play a bit better. What play do you think they're performing? I bet they're having a bunch of fun. Doesn't that look like fun? Cats in the drawing room, purling and knitting. Cats in the sewing room, having a fitting. Cats in the closet, in jackets and hats. Cats in the courtyard, with baseballs and bats. Cats in the library, writing and reading. Cats in the kitchen, stirring and kneading. Ooh, what do you think they're making in the kitchen? Stirring and kneading? Maybe they're making some bread? I've never had bread made by cats, have you? While Mrs. Brown was tucked in tight, the cats would party every night. They'd chase their tails, they'd cut a rug, they'd foxtrot, and they'd jitterbug. They'd feast on 7-layer cakes and drink 100 chocolate shakes. They'd whoop it up until the dawn. Those cats could really carry on. What a party! The sun came up, the cats went down, and out of bed crept Mrs. Brown. She clasped her hands up to her chest and cried, "My cats are just the best," then piled them all into a heap so they could get their beauty sleep. How do you think those kitties are feeling now? Pretty worn out, I bet. That was a lot of partying. Some say that Mrs. Brown is batty and that her house is way too catty. Says Mrs. Brown, "Oh, fiddle-dee-dee, I love my cats and they love me." And that's cats, cats, cats. How many cats did Mrs. Brown have? I think it said she put 60 bowls of cat food, right? That's a lot of kitties. Do you have that many kitties at home? No? Is that too many cats? That might be too many cats for a lot of people. But Mrs. Brown's happy with her cats, isn't she? And this one was read with permission from Simon & Schuster, so thank you for letting us read that. Okay, friends, well, before we go on to our next book about cats, I wanted to teach you a fun little rhyme that we use with our hands. Do you want to do that with me? And of course, it's about cats. It has to be about cats today, right? So I'll show you this one time, and then the second time you put your hand up with me, and we'll do it together, okay? All right. 5 little kittens standing in a row. Let's count the kittens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They nod their heads to the children so, hello. They run to the left. They run to the right. They stand up and stretch in the bright sunlight. Stretch your fingers. Oh, stretch those little kittens. They're so good at stretching in the sunlight, aren't they? Along comes a dog who's in for some fun. Meow! See the little kittens. Run, run, run. What'd you think? Do you want to try it with me? It's pretty fun. All right, let's do it together. Put your hand up and let's find our kittens. Where are our kittens? 5 little kittens standing in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There they are. There's our kittens. They nod their heads to the children, so they run to the left. They run to the right. They stand up and stretch in the bright sunlight. Stretch your fingers, stretch, stretch, stretch. Oh, good stretches in the sunlight. Along comes a dog. Where's your dog? I found my dog. Do you have a dog? Who's in for some fun? Meow! See those little kittens? Run, run, run. All right, good job, friends. Thanks for doing that with me together. I guess those kittens didn't want to play with that dog today, did they? All right. Well, before we get into our next book, the other thing I wanted to hear was your great kitten meows and noises. So let's do it together. We made one of those noises already. Remember? Meow. So can I hear all of your meows? Meow. Give me your best kitty impression. Meow. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of kitties that I hear. Nice job. What about when kitties are angry? What do? Maybe they growl or they hiss. Give me your mad kitty sounds. I'm scared. There's so many mad kitties I'm hearing. Oh my goodness, you're really good at that. And let's see, what do kitties do when they're really, really happy? They purr, right? That's kind of a hard sound. Can you make that sound? Let's all purr together. Nice job, Storytime friends. That sounds wonderful. Now we have a bunch of purring happy kitties. That's what I like to hear. All right, are you ready for our next story about cats? This will be our second one for today. And this one is called They All Saw a Cat. And this is by Brendan Wenzel. Thanks to Chronicle Books for letting us read this one. So let's see, what color cat do we have here on the cover? That's right, it looks like it's a brown cat. What do you think this book is going to be about? They all saw a cat. Let's find out together, shall we? There's our kitty. The cat walked through the world with its whiskers, ears, and paws. Can you find those parts on a cat? Let's see, whiskers, right here, those little hairs that come out of a cat's face. Ears, oops, right there, helps the kitty to hear things. And paws, their little paws. Did you know kitties' whiskers help them sense things around them? That's why they have those. So the cat walked through the world with its whiskers, ears, and paws. And the child saw a cat. And the dog saw a cat. What's different right now between what the child saw and what the dog saw? They see very different things, don't they, even though it's the same cat? And the fox saw a cat. Yes, they all saw the cat. The cat walked through the world with its whiskers, ears, and paws. And the fish saw a cat. That's a very different view of the cat, isn't it? And the mouse saw a cat. How do you think that poor little mousie's feeling? Very scared, huh? That's a scary looking thing. Scary cat. And the bee saw a cat. Yes, they all saw the cat. The cat walked through the world with its whiskers, ears, and paws. And the bird saw a cat. And the flea saw a cat. Do you see the flea up in the cat's fur? And the snake saw a cat. And the skunk saw a cat. And the worm saw a cat. And the bat saw a cat. Yes, they all saw the cat. Yes, they all saw a cat. Look at that cat. So every animal saw a different thing, didn't they? They saw the cat in a different perspective. And now we're seeing all those perspectives put together in the cat. A child and a dog and a fox and a fish and a mouse and a bee and a flea and a snake and a skunk and a worm and a bat. The cat knew them all, and they all knew the cat. That's a lot of animals that all saw the cat. Do you see the flea? Where's the flea? Up above the dog? And the bat? Yeah, above the fox? They all knew the cat. The cat walked through the world with its whiskers, ears, and paws. Then it came to the water. And imagine what it saw. What does the cat see? That's right. The cat sees itself. Wow, well, that's pretty cool to think about the way that cats look to different animals and to themselves, right? So that was They All Saw a Cat. Thank you so much for reading with me today, friends, and giving me your best kitty impressions and playing with the rhyming and fingers with me too. I had so much fun with you today. Did you have a good time learning and reading about cats? Good. I'm glad to hear that. All right, so make sure you come back next week, okay? Next week, we are going to be reading about numbers. We already did some numbers today. Do you remember how many kitties we had standing in a row? That's right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So next week, we will be reading all about numbers, okay? Come back then and I'll see you soon. Have a good week, friends.